contribute a few kills when they're needed. Don't be making the misplays that are going to cost your team many rounds. And yeah, we'll see, of course, how he fits in here on Inferno. This is already a map they've played together. We just didn't get to catch it because we were actually busy covering a Gambit game, I believe, at that time.
We were. Yeah, we were. Now we're going to see what we've got here. Gambit taking a little bit of a fight, and I need to just collapse my camera window. Up here by Banana, and Hobbit will come away with the first scalp in this matchup. Now, we had talked about it. You had said maybe Gambit would have done to them what they had done to Team 1, which is win both pistols and lose the map. And that's indeed what happened. They won both pistols on Dust 2, didn't give them the map. But Hobbit, he's looking to make it 3 for 3 in this series. He's already found 2, and he's not leaving either. He's staying around. He's still got 7 bullets in this gun, trying to clip another head. That flashbang will catch him and force him back, but this may be a bait. There's 2 more players in the site to reinforce. They might think they've caught Hobbit off guard and try and chase this kill, but that's exactly what he wants them to do. For now, at least, they're standing pat. Staying stationary. They're going to set up the smoke. And they've still got Rops on the other side of the map. But there are 2 players here from Gambit who are not moving, and why would they? None of their players have even taken a bullet to this. Fine.
Oh, and it continues. Eventually, Nafany takes a tiny bit of damage from the molly, but it doesn't matter. Hobbit has a free kill on the A-core. Who didn't expect Hobbit to be up above on oranges? And, well, yeah, they've got full control, including that bomb. Rops, the man who I mentioned, was doing so much damage on the Lurk back on Dust 2. Well, unfortunately, his Lurk isn't able to do anything here if his teammates don't find any success at all on their initial push. I think the Lurk is... Well, it can be still really useful here, of course, on Inferno, but on a map like Dust 2, it's just so crazy in comparison, just because most of the time they're going to have to just rotate through mid. There's that one position, of course, that can very easily be held by one of the Tias, and that's what Rops was so good at exploiting. I don't know if he's going to be able to do quite the same here on Inferno, but we'll see how he plays anyway. They're on the force buy here, so maybe the Deagles can come true again, because, yeah, we have seen these force buys working out quite a bit so far.
Oh, they go for the swing. Doesn't work this time. Deleted by the MP9, and no, the second peek will not be good. Idcore takes some damage, but he comes away with the kill. Can he get a gun? It's just an MP9, so it may not much matter. You'd honestly even favor the Deagles in this kind of situation where you're trying to upset some rifles. But they'll be slowed. Utility comes in from Gambit to make sure they're not going to get forward. Bemis will get himself an SMG. I want to make some money with it. And they're going to back away. Shift to other parts. See if they can't explore some of the opportunities available on the A site. And with 2 players over towards Arch, it's not impossible to think they might find a gap to get in here. And now they've both given up the Arch, which is interesting. There's a path to wrap. And if you've got Deagles coming from both sides of this site, it gets very tough very quickly. Nice smoke. Gonna give them the space. Nade comes through it. Shiro collects A-core, and that's like a game of Battleship. Not only did he just get a hit on their destroyer, he also got information that there are players there. Great find. Now they're looking for more. It's gonna come through. Here comes the wrap. Shiro ready for them, ready to receive them with waiting arms. On they go. He gets one, not the second. Bemis trades, but he's lost his teammate. Now Bemis is all alone. Time to put this bomb to dirt and pray they don't get to you fast enough. Punch in those numbers, young man. And he does indeed. Won't survive for long now. Just wants to do some extra damage if he may. Axile will force the kill and get the defuse as well. But the bomb went down, Dean, and that's about all you could ask of him in that situation.
Yeah, at least been able to confirm that a little bit of extra money for themselves. Haven't actually bought into the round though. It's not really going to afford them the full buy. Maybe a few pistols again can be pulled out. And with those 2 kills that they were able to find, another frag or 2 in this round with a couple upgraded pistols, suddenly again Gambit are left in a position where they just never really build up any economy even when they get these early rounds. And we did mention the fact that obviously Gambit won both pistols in that previous map, and still that wasn't enough for them to get the victory. This time at least they have the chance to get a bit of a better start off the back of it. I think the first pistol they ended up immediately losing to the force buy, and then the second pistol back on the half, if I remember correctly, they ended up actually only getting the 1 round off the back of it before they were immediately broken down. So this time they should at least be looking at the 3-0. But I don't know for sure. Pistols, Kevlar, and, well, a few nades as well. If that flash is placed well, they could catch this aggression down Banana, and there we go. It's actually a bit of help from Dexter, who throws that flash in. Catches Nafany, completely blinded. There's a potential weapon as well that could be retrieved. Emphasis on could, because Hobbit wants to try and ensure that it's not going to be picked up. And, oh, he's lining up a couple of them with that AUG. It's Ed Dexter in the background as well. It honestly looked like maybe all three were going to line up initially. But the thing is, this still isn't going too bad for Mouse. They've gotten 2 kills already. They still have a chance to add a bit more. And as I mentioned, the economy after that previous round didn't get any chance to build up for Gambit. So they needed it. Ideally, 4 or so players living, and that's definitely not happening. Suddenly, it's a 2-on-2 with, again, that long control being completely open. That is going to be so tough for Axile. He's forced to go aggressive and, well, get some control and some info for himself. And he does even better. He finds the bomb.
Yeah, he's good for it. He's very good for it. He may have just saved this round for them. Because, yeah, it was a 2-on-2, but both players were so isolated. Rob's trying to withdraw. Ooh. He's dangerous game here. He's seeing his health whittle away. He's dodging bullets. Hacktail's tapping every place on the other side at this point. Like he's playing with one of those reaction walls where you press on the colors. He's just playing a little reaction game. Rhythm game here. Now Rops is going to make his way through, but with no health. If Axile even breathes on him, he is done for. And there's going to be the kill. Yeah. Kill comes through. Kill confirmed. Gambit survive without a bomb plant either going the way of mousesports. But as he said, this does drain the bank quite significantly. Lots of casualties done there. Lots of danger. I did want to say, Hobbit is a madman. He loses his teammate out towards Banana. He knows there's a ton of deagles on the other side. And he says, yeah, I'm going to peek it. He gets 3. That was... I'm going to be honest, an ill-advised peek, but he's just so good, he gets 3 out of it.
Yeah, it was a little bit mad. As I said, the only kind of positive I was seeing was that they lined up. He thankfully got the 2 of them. I thought initially more was even going to come from it, but it was very risky because if he peeks in, if he goes down with even just one of those kills, suddenly B becomes very weak. And then there's an AUG and whatever other weapon was dropped as well for the T's to work with. Speaking of such, of the T's though, mousesports actually have found the opening kill here in the opening gun round. It is going to be over towards Banana where they managed to find Nafany. And Hobbit again is sticking around relatively aggressively. Thankfully, this time, mousesports don't have a bunch of players here who can actually punish it. Instead, they were a little bit more focused over towards mid. And as the smoke goes down there as well, they're forced to, I guess, kind of slow things down for a moment. Which they shouldn't really be too worried about doing, considering the man advantage and time. Yeah, this risky rotate, it looks like it very likely will actually pay off, but what is the info that's given them this idea? I guess the one peek down Banana, they didn't spot anything. They're like, let's just take the risk, guys. Let's hope we can get this hold on A. But it's still not enough. They continue to topple. Acor and Rops with entries in towards the bomb site, and the pit is where the crossfire comes from. And it's Axile, thankfully, who gets two kills for himself. I think they noticed one more in on the bomb site as well. But they can't actually help each other, completely isolated, so they just put the smoke down on Moto, they deal with Axile, and yeah, with that now the bomb should be planted, but look at the damage that had even been done. It's so unfortunate. If one of those kills, extra kills came through rather for the player in the pit, then the 1-on-2 I would have said is a position Inters probably would have gone for, but yeah, and the 1-on-3 not exactly knowing how low they are as well, this save does make sense. Or is he just gone on a mad long rotate to catch them off guard? No, he's going for the save. I thought he was going crazy for a second. He looked like he was, he had some momentum behind his feet there.
That round is really scary for Gambit. Yeah, it's the first round they've lost of this map. But I just want to put context on it. They rotated and abandoned an entire site to play 4 on A. They had the perfect read. Again, we're not quite sure what information betrayed it, but they had the perfect read. They had every player on one bomb site. 4-man hold. And they lost it handily. In fact, if Axile doesn't pull off a big play from that pit, I'm not sure they get a kill. That's concerning because of the way they lost the round. Purely based on that. They should have at least made that extremely costly, if not won the round. When you've got the full read on exactly where your opponent's going, and you put all of your eggs in that one basket, whew, I don't know. Not a good omen, if you will. So they got the 1M4 to deal with here. They've got the Deagle out. Gambit still in the lead, but now they're going to see that lead shrink. Going to see it drip away here, Dean. And that just has to have shaken their confidence.
Yeah, I mean, you make the right call. You do everything correct. You have everyone literally possibly that's possible to be in position in the correct position, but it still isn't enough. And as you said, if Axel wasn't to get those 2 kills, it would have likely been absolutely nothing on the hold for them. They would have probably just been forced in towards the save, even with the final player. But even then, that wasn't allowed. So yeah, a single M4 to work with at the moment, some pistols, and well, for Gambit, hopefully a few kills to try and at least put some damage towards mousesports rather, and not let things get out of control. Oh, walking a bit of a stacker. Yeah, boost up above the back boxes. One up close who can swing in as well. That is the M4. Dexter instantly going, nope, don't want any of that smoke. There's 2 of them in the back. There's an M4 up close. Let's just avoid that position for now.
Bail, bail, bail. He's going to hold from car, though. Here's BMS, who is policing it. He doesn't find the M4, but he does find a player, and that's going to prevent the rotation. They wanted the fast flank with this. Meanwhile, it's going to be a take in towards A. It's a pretty decent read. 50 in towards Coldzera could surprise them, and actually it's the Deagle of Shiro to find the first. Now 3 pistols on the site. This is going to get risky. Bodies are dropping, but Frozen, he doesn't care. He's ice cold, as the name suggests. The bomb goes down, secures the round from mousesports, and they only do wind up dropping 2. That looked like a truly dangerous setup with the 3 pistols in the site proper. Demas is even willing to hunt this M4 because of the fact they've gotten to this point in the round. Don't think he's going to find it. Cooking up in the kitchen is Inters. Look in the right direction, even if Bemis comes looking for new real estate. This should be Inters' fight, but it's going to happen. He's going to clear. He's checking the pans. He's checking the pots. Inters is doing some dishwashing here. And no, Inters is ready for him. Greeting his house guest, dropping him down onto the tile floor, but leaving the apartment. Well, this could expose him to the dangers of the outside. In fact, he's going to catch one upside the head. Be dropped on down, and mousesports will make sure he doesn't get a gun into the next.
Yeah, it is still going to be the investment coming through at least, but as you can see, there's a lot of weaknesses actually to this buy. 3 FAMASs. They've at least got the 1 kit, which is, well, obviously the bare minimum in terms of the kits that you want to be having in play, but it's always a little bit awkward if it gets caught in a position where it's tough to recover, then you may as well not have one. But they do importantly have the up on Shuro. Don't be looking for any early aggression. I believe he's just positioned over towards long. They are looking for aggression around Banana. It's just not with the upper. And the ball's on Daphne. I think he actually wants to swing this. Got blinded up for a moment, so it slightly delayed the plans, but he moves back in and just didn't expect Akor up close. There's the trade from Hubba and the second, okay. Honestly, it looked like Akor was ready for that peek initially, but no, Hubba, he takes him down and even comes in for a second to, well, fully reclaim control of Banana. That's actually forced mousesports to make a play happen. And, well, it's come in. Axile, I believe he tried to peek into Apps there and gets punished for it.
So now it's definitely, well, actually looking quite good for mousesports. Despite the casualties, despite the damage that's been done, they've got control of the site. They got a player all the way into Graveyard, and under the cover of this smoke, they'll get a plant as well. So Dexter can put this bomb down. He's got a Molotov. They're going boosting over this. It's Hobbit on his head, which makes sense. He's probably quite light. Here comes the check. Dexter gets caught. He falls into the trap. Trixie Hobbitses. And here comes the peek from Graveyard. 2 bodies found. The third is there. It's all on Hobbit. But he will not find the 1 round to rule them all in this round. It's got to be mousesports instead to take another and tie up the scoreline here, Dean.
Damn, yeah, really well played there by Rops as well. Did all the references, yeah. You may as well. Got a scheme going. But yeah, really well played by Rops to realize he didn't need to keep on fighting after getting those 2 kills. Just tucked in. If he had have kept on peeking out, thinking maybe even that the third player wasn't there, then he could have been caught by the 1 up close. But no, trusted his teammate in the apps to hold off his close push. And yeah, fantastic after plant in general. Gambit again, just back on the pistols now. So it is going to be Mouse who get a early T lead going for themselves. At least coming into this next round, Gambit shouldn't be working with the same kind of difficulties that they had in that previous round, which was 3 FAMASs and a little bit of a lack of nades, even with those weaker weapons. They should be looking much healthier in terms of the buy in this following gun round. But at that point, they will be down 4-3, and they'll need to start turning the tide quickly because we can't afford to have them just kind of trailing behind like they were up until the final moments of the game when they finally wake up. That wake-up moment needs to be much earlier. Look at even the map control mousesports have got. Obviously, with just pistols, Gambit can't really afford to fight for those areas, but great work by mousesports to realize that and take control of everything that was just given up to them, basically.
Oh, there's the peek. There's a check. Player confirmed. First spot in there. Got a player out towards the balcony as well. This is going to start to get quite dangerous. There are many pistols here. Robs could be thwarted. He's going to get shot in the back of the head by that P250, but swiftly their comrades do falter. Fonny not able to do anything but just the USP, and it's just left to Hobbit to rotate with no armor and a CZ. He's not even going to bother. Keep the CZ. Hope they come hunting for reasons. And maybe you can catch a kill. Maybe work your way to apartments. That seems to be what he's going to do. Go for an exit frag. Try and steal a gun and hide it somewhere. But this is well played by mousesports. We've seen them again and again, even when they're walking into the stack, which they've done now both rounds that we've had a true stack. They dismantle it fairly effectively.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably want to try and stop walking into stacks before you get into the gun rounds where Gambit really have everything you need, especially nades and such. But for the moment, anyway, it hasn't been much of an issue. Hobbit, he's better than a stack, apparently. He does it on his own. They're getting 2 frags. As you said, the main goal was kind of to take a weapon over, but he does some pretty good damage at least and does have the money for his own investment to come true. He actually drops the op over, so that's going to limit his own nades, unfortunately, but definitely worth it. You do want Shiro on that weapon with the amount of impact that he's capable of having. They don't have a kit. No kit at all, Mike.
No, it's really bad. Someone needs to step up and help out Hobbit. Axile's trying. He's 7 of 4, but the rest of the board is looking dire. 2 kills, 3 kills apiece. Hobbit's on 12. Somebody help this man. Oh, here comes the push. Here comes the aggression. Bemis is burning, but through the flames he goes, and a kill he does find, so will not be enough on his hand around to help out. We'll see if it's Interz's. He's got a chance. He's here with Hobbit. But at least for the moment, they've lost banana control 30 seconds into the round, and mousesports will slow down. They've taken this ground. They're going to go into what looks to be a pretty traditional B hit. They want a bit of utility to facilitate it. They're not overcomplicating things right now. They're just going to go for it. Another smoke goes up. That should buy some time, and there's a gap on the edge of it. Hobbit's looking. Oh, do you see the elbows? He's looking for it. Damage comes back the other way, but he'll get the kill, and he'll be able to slip away. Nicely done for Hobbit, once again trying to drag his team back into a round.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dangerous one. Obviously, the Tracer's nearly given away his own position, as you said, taking a lot of fire in return. But when you have a look at the overall health anyway, it is still Gambit who are coming out slightly on top of it. And they need to, because once this hit comes in, they do not have a kiss. So it's actually pretty... I'm pretty thankful for them right now that they actually have this stack in place with 3 players ready to hold off. Fortunately, Shiro does get smoked off. It doesn't really seem to stop him too much. He just takes one shot with the timing and does initially find the frag, but his teammates who are in on the bomb site do not find the same level of success. 2 quick entries being found. It's Rops again who just keeps delivering those entry frags when they're really needed. And it looks like Shiro may even be considering the save. Is that what they're going for? Axel at the moment waiting around the bottom of banana. Maybe hoping someone will, at this point, presume they're going for the save already and perhaps leave themselves open. But I wouldn't imagine they go for this. Was that through the smoke? Unlucky.
I think he was slightly above it. He definitely saw something. Maybe a hop around and then tracked it down. We didn't see the perspective, but there was some sort of cue off there because it was the only shot he popped off. It's not exactly a spam going.
Either way, no op for Shiro.
No op. No money. No hopes. Dreams getting crushed. Just a ruthless mousesports side. Gambit really struggling here. I mean, really struggling. Their kills. Hobbit gets a kill on the edge of smoke, and Shiro gets a kill hitting the timing through smoke, and that's it. That's all they get in that round. Rops, merciless, just pops the heads as he walks onto site like they can't even shoot back. He's got no fear right now. He's top of the board for his team, but honestly, there's no one who's a huge outlier right now. The whole team is just kind of in gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, everyone's doing their job. Dexter, I think, only on 2 kills, but he's focused on the calling at the moment, and that's going to be needed, especially early on in the team. He's not maybe feeling as comfortable. Everything has to be thought about a little bit extra, but the thing is, they have the players who can make up for those few extra frags if needed, as we've seen so far.
You know, the thing that's really slowing Dexter down is every time he makes a call, he's got to mentally translate from Australian to English. It's complicated.
True, yeah. Everything isn't called diggity, first of all, so he has to learn some new callouts, right?
He's just explaining to them round by round. So this is where diggity is on this map, and this is where it is on this map. Just every time they get through. There's some other calls that I don't know if we're allowed to say on stream that I understand are prevalent.
No, there's one for the pillar on Overpass.
I think there's one for every pillar-shaped object. Bemus Looking for a peek. Does he realize there's Hobbit behind the car? It's funny that we still call that a car.
I don't think
even though
so.
it's not been a car in a while. Bemis, I think he's going to get called by the CZ. Yes, he is indeed. A face full of bullets are what he gets. But Hobbit can't even get the gun before he's chased away. There was a second player there. Still, they've got the numbers now, and this could get very risky indeed.
These pistols seem to be getting risky in pretty much every round that they're present. There's always some damage being done. Neither team is able to take the rounds quite as cleanly as, well, they would hope for. But there is this boost right now that could maybe do some damage. The CZ again is the one up. Nafany with the deagle, hoping to be able to catch something as soon as his teammate finds contact, maybe with a bit of a spam there on that deag. And, well, there we go. It's actually the initial kill coming straight through for Hobbit. Nafany in the smoke catches Frozen and even takes the AK away with him. It's all on Rops now. He needs to go huge. It's going to have to be the ace clutch fight. And, well, although I was going to say it looked like he was about to find that kill for himself, there wouldn't have been time either way. But no. Hobbit had a bit of insult to injury, takes himself the frag, and he's on 16 now. Mike, we pointed out how the frag disparity a moment ago when he was on 12, I believe. He's gone ahead and added another 4 now to his frag count just since then. This is insane. Gambit, help him out, please. But he's giving you the opening back in now. That's what's important.
He's single-handedly attempting to drag them through these rounds, and he's succeeding. Putting the team on his back. It's a wild performance. This is a wild performance. The whole point of going to a team with a bunch of young fraggers is you're not supposed to have to do that. He's older, you know? He's got the back pain setting in. He needs them to carry the groceries home. But no, he's just having to do it all himself. Use that old man strength. No, I don't want to over-exaggerate here, but you know.
I was thinking, he's not this old now.
He's not. He's not. I'm painting the picture. He's just doing all the work himself, and he's doing a phenomenal job right now, but he needs some help. Imagine where they could be if he's got one more player with him. Rops, another nice entry. As we've come to say, every time Rops' name is used in a sentence, there's a player in pit, but Axile can't connect a kill just yet, and he won't be able to. A bit of damage is all he gets, and Inters is burning alive. This is disastrous. He's getting overwhelmed. From Graveyard, shot from on high, and Shiro's just going to have to save. mousesports, they will deny the tied scoreline. They will maintain their lead. And if Dexter goes hunting, this would be a team ace. Everybody gets a kill in this round. I don't think he's going to do it. No, he's going to hide in the corner.
I was going to say, I don't know how worthwhile it'd be. They don't have great money. Maybe they could have afforded to send 1 or 2 players to try and take that up away. You know Shiro obviously is going to be on the up, but they also realize that the economy's already pretty fragile. So even with the up saved over, the buy still isn't going to be looking perfect for Gambit. But they will have a bit, and maybe that's why it scares them risking losing their own weapons.
Look, I just like
as you said.
Okay?
Yeah, I know that it's always good to see team contribution. I think overall, though, mousesports are already given that to us, even if it's not exactly. They are all stepping up when needed at the moment.
Well, the beautiful thing about being an in-game leader when all of your team are hitting their shots is you don't need to, right? Instead of having to do the damage yourself, you're like the robot pilot or the pilot of a giant robot suit. They are your Voltron, and you're just the head, and they're the arms and the legs doing all the work for you. You're just directing them on where to go. They're doing the damage, and that's A-okay.
Yeah, it's like Ziwu go kill. Basically, but with 4.
With
Rops
instead. Rops go kill.
With Rops,
Everybody else,
he's been insane so far. He topped the scoreboard in our previous map here, and he also had topped it up against Renegades. And I believe he's currently towards the top of it as well for mousesports with 11, if I remember correctly. We can't currently see it, of course, on the screen, but we are just about ready to actually get back into the action now here, thankfully.
It definitely does feel like he's just... It's not fair, the way he plays sometimes. He'll walk through a smoke and he'll tap 2 of you in the head. There's just nothing you can do about it. You were right, though. 11 is the number. He faces his team on the scoreboard. Now they're going to try and come for the hit. The answer might be Hobbit, but this time it's Nafany. Going to shut down Dexter. There's more players here, though, but there's 3 for Gambit. That's a lot of positioning, and the utilities coming in to do the damage. Bemis will burn alive. He didn't have much health, and he couldn't get back through the flames. So down he goes. 2 players down initially. Gambit finally with a nice entry into a round. And Acor is going to go looking to try and bring it back, but there's no easy targets presented to him. He's going to have to really go hunting for this one. And with Axile clearing into the apartments as well, they're going to have deep control. He might even go too far on this adventure. Okay, the flashback towards Arch should bring him back around, but he wants to flank all the way through mid. Inters is going to have an interesting situation here with the MP9, but they call for the withdrawal because Axile's on the flank, and now he's dropped the bomb. So they don't want to give a fight if they don't have to. We've got such a good situation here. The op shot distracts. Inters gets the kill. Here we go. This is the way the setups are supposed to look. Now it's all on Rops. That man's been good, but is he ace clutch good? 1v5, all alone. Gotta do everything himself, and now he's been spotted. Doesn't get the kill. Axile is low, so he doesn't want the fight. But they're just going to corral him, keep him at bay. 35 seconds. They can play the time on him. They know where he's at, and there is no escape. There's the peak. There's the kill from Hobbit. No chance for damage in this round. Gambit get through one clean. And it looks like that time was exactly what they needed to get their minds right. Because now they're back in the game.
Yeah, a fantastic way to step back in. A nice little upgrade off the weaker weapon that they had been forced onto in the previous round as well for Inters, and the ability to build up quite a bit of money while only nades and such needing to be bought back up. But they played that really well. Even when they already had the 5-on-2 around long, Shiro came through and took a pop shot through the corner of the smoke. Just to serve as the distraction for the MP9 up close to actually get the finish then while the player was distracted. It's the little things at the moment that are working out for them. And I think one thing we also highlighted earlier on in their game was the fact that their utility usage was actually pretty good. So I'm waiting to see if that's something that they're going to be able to do now that they're stabilizing their economy as well. And I mean, look at that banana control. They're all the way down the bottom. They've got Nafany pushed up towards the tree. They've got Hobbit all the way back towards the wall with an AK, and considering how he's been playing so far, that's going to be a scary position to deal with the help of Nafany as well in this corner.
They're going to test him. They do have mollies. We want to commit to the clear, but with Hobbit there providing oversight, that's always a risky prospect. We know how bold he can be with these peaks from top banana. Gonna try and peel that banana every time. Now they're going to be pushing down, and they get caught by Dexter. He was waiting here. And he'll get the first pick as a result. Hobbit doesn't press his luck. He falls back towards site, knowing that he's the only thing standing between them and a vacancy bomb site. And it's going to be on to Shiro. Misses that shot. Lined it up. Tried to hit the timing. Didn't quite have it. Maybe a fraction of a second off. Now the pressure's on towards him as he groups in towards the library. Could go through Arch, but they want to pressure this library hit. And Rops gets another entry and a second as well from on top of the balcony. So now it doesn't matter what Shiro's going to do. This bomb's going to be planted. He's being pressured from every side. Can he escape? Yes, for now. But they are hunting now. They do not want to let these guns get away. And Hobbit, he's going to take one, secure their flank at least, group up with Shiro, and perhaps play for the save. Mousesports, money's not good. They'll give up on getting those rifles out of hand. They will back right off and settle for a 7th round win.
At the moment, it's feeling like a crazy battle between Hobbit and Rups. Both players are just standing out massively for their team. Rups wasn't, because other players are doing pretty decent as well, but he's just started going so insane now that he is bringing himself up ahead of everyone on that scoreboard. I don't know, I feel like he's just always good for 2 entries. That's how it seems to be going for him. Just walking out of the apartments for free. To be fair, the player under the balcony was a little bit distracted as he was also being wrapped on from long, but yeah, I mean, even the first kill, Rops is just hitting some crisp shots at the moment, and that's what you don't want if you're Gambit. Because, yeah, that's a scary prospect. The buy is still available, of course. Up there for Shiro. Axel, yeah, he gets given over a rifle as well. So they're going to have everything here on the CT side again, but if they end up losing this one, then they could be in trouble with not really a lot to buy in the following round, and then suddenly Mousesports are running away with a fantastic T side. It really does have to be, in my opinion, these last 3 rounds for Gambit if they want to be feeling good about this CT side. Oh, Acor. I was going to say it looked like Axel was considering the peek after spotting the nade being thrown, but he ended up waiting a little bit too long, so did decide against it, and nearly gets caught himself now. A little bit of damage on towards the shoulder. And continue to fight that mid area now, and is going to be forced to actually give it up. Thankfully, they do at least get the control around Banana in the meantime, so they can afford to play a little bit more of a passive style around A, and could potentially even rotate that 4th player back over, at least if they're given time to, because Mousesports, with the mid control already, they could potentially move quick with this, but I don't think that's going to be the goal. Yeah, they're actually going back down, potentially try and even fight for Banana.
Yeah, that might just be to set up an aid. They've got Bemis watching for the long flank, and this is important. It's an adjustment we've seen them make because Gambit have gone for this flank multiple times. With the smoke coming down, though, Bemis is going to bail on it. It is going to be an A hit, and you're right. They're bringing that 4th player in. So they're making the right read. It just might be a moment too late. Hits coming through from Arch and Hobbit. Well, he's got to get there quickly, otherwise he's going to be playing retake with all of his teammates dead. But no, he's on the scene. He's present. Inter tucked into the corner. They got a crossfire here, but Bemis has just dismantled it. They had the perfect setup to respond to that play, and Bemis just does not care. Deletes them both. Rops gets a follow-up kill. The bomb goes down, and the 8th round is won for mousesports without a chance for Nafany and Hobbit to do anything about it.
It's what we were saying earlier as well. It seems like Gambit make the correct decisions, but it's just not enough because mousesports are just so damn good on an individual level. They can make the right decisions and they can still just get walked over on the bomb site once the hit comes in. And yeah, it proved that Imaz and Rops were just way too much for those A players to handle in this round. Nafany and Hobbit on the save, and is that even going to give them enough for the buy here in the next round? It's going to be a rough one. I don't believe they get the full loss bonus anyway, so they definitely won't have enough. Okay, no, sorry, they could drop over to 2 weapons. Yeah, Axel can even buy for himself. No op will be available, unfortunately, unless for some reason Axel wanted to go glass cannon on it, but the rifles are pretty solid. Inferno is a map where you don't really need that op to make it work. It's a tough one, though. Will they actually go for it? Because maybe they want to ensure the best buy possible in the next round. I was thinking maybe that was something they were considering, but nah, they're going to buy up the AUG there on Axel, and with a pause coming in, it's more about finding out what way they actually want to use this buy, rather than whether they're going to go for it or not.
You know, one thing that's really interesting that haven't really been considering until just now, but now is very apparent to me. Mousesports are going very light on the HEs. They've only got 1 player with an HE in this round, and thinking about it, we haven't really had super damaging utility exchanges towards Banana for most of their T side, which is... It's unusual. There's so much potential to get out of that early nade stack towards Banana if you're trying to chase the car peak. And considering how much Hobbit has been making that car peak, I'm surprised they haven't tried to punish it more with HEs. But they want the extra flashes. That's clearly what they want to play with. And it's hard to fault them for it when they're having so much success. If they can get a 9th round here, they will be well poised to head into the second half, mirroring their scoreline on Dust 2 at the very least. 10 is distinctly still a possibility. This time it does seem like they're fighting Banana, but blinded up. Everybody's blind. Dexter kills his teammate. Oh no! And Nafany, despite not seeing the players, he's gonna get away with it. His vision clears, and there's just a corpse in front of him, dropped conveniently by his in-game leader. Axile gets a follow-up kill, and now things are looking very dangerous indeed for mousesports. A catastrophic error at an unfortunate time. A bit of friendly fire, and now A-Core down as these flashbangs are finding home, and the shots to follow as well. Frozen and Dexter alone, together. Now they'll try and work their way up Arch. They are working as a unit at the very least, but there's 3 players to patrol this site and a 4th close at hand. This is all but impossible. They will try and get this entry going. The crossfire from the pit should be devastating. Pit and sight. What do you do about this? You find the first. There's the trade and the follow-up kill as well. Axel comes away with 3 kills in the round. Gambit finds 6.
Yeah, as I said, that was just kind of unfortunate there. I don't even blame Dexter for that, because his teammate was completely blind, probably panicking a little bit and saying he needed some help. So Dexter tries to spam true. His teammate was likely dead if he didn't manage to get the kill on the other player. And he didn't, obviously, so he just kind of finished his teammate off to make it a bit quicker. I think that's how it went down. But yeah, no, as I said, I don't see that as his fault right there. They needed to try and do something to help him out, and there was unfortunately a smoke that was blocking the vision. But 8-6. 1 more round. If Gambit can bring it up to 7, that is not a terrible CT side to be working with. It's actually pretty solid, especially if they can continue the trend of winning those pistol rounds.
It would be nice. It would be nice. I mean, honestly, even a 9-6 perfectly respectable for a CT side on Inferno. It's very much anyone's game at this point. And it has been nice to see the rest of Gambit come alive here. Some of these setups on A that they were getting abused in previously are starting to function as intended. Players are hitting their shots. The timing on the utility is there. We're seeing everything work a little bit better. It's similar to what happened on Dust 2, where they just took a long time to get going in the map. See if they have enough juice to recover this time. Frozen gets 1, but Shiro trades it on top of the half wall, and Nafany was baiting for him to try and attract the op crosshair, and Shiro gets a 2nd as well as they try and chase. So a man disadvantage there again for mousesports. They're going to try and rock on towards A as a result. Hobbit is here, though. They've mixed up the spots, and that might just be the solution. Hobbit and Inters. Bit of a crossfire. Hobbit tucked into the mini pit, but he's going to be dropping the bodies. Not enough. 2v2 here. And this bomb going down. Tag damage back on Nafani. Bomb now down. A post plant to play. No utility for the T side. And no utility apart from one single found flashbang here for Gambit. See what they can work. Frozen alone. Shiro doesn't care. He kills everybody. A 4K for him in the round. The final 2 critical kills and a defuse there to bring this as close can be as we hit halftime. We're going to have to see who can pull ahead, whether mousesports can close it out in 2 or if Gambit will pull us into a 3rd when we get back. Don't go anywhere, folks. And we're back for what could be the last half of this matchup between mousesports and Gambit. A slim lead for mousesports, but Gambit have brought it close before the closing of the first half, and now they are just a stone's throw away from taking the lead. A pistol throw, one might say. Dean, we have these teams neck and neck as Gambit try and extend the series to a 3rd map. It seems like Rops is already trying to take some peeks. He was monstrous in the first half. We'll see if he can do it again, but it was Hobbit was the absolute boss of the server, and this time Rops will slay him early, get him out of the way, and perhaps take the first pistol round away from Gambit in this entire series. Frozen can't get it done, though, however. 3 players locked into this site. That may have just been the bait, and the hit is coming through. mousesports are set up perfectly for this. That was, in fact, the bait. Here comes the switch. They don't expect these players in the back. The flash is out. A-core Finds a bit, but Dexter and Acor, they've been tagged. Now the kills come in. Themis is there. The bodies are dropping, though, and it leaves just Rops. He needs to find 3 more kills in this round. He'll isolate the first. He drops them. Both players now back into the same angle. Shiro looking for him. And he will do a lot of damage, but he ultimately can't take the round. That's now 4 out of 4 pistol rounds, 1 for Gambit, Dean.
And unfortunately, they're not in the position they'd hope to be in off the back of winning both of the pistol rounds. They've only tied things up at 8-8. By no means a bad scoreline, though. This is one of the better positions now we've seen them in, especially if they can overcome this force buy that we are seeing come true from mousesports. They're going to have pistols, they're going to have Kevlar, and no scout this time. They're actually going to opt against it. Acor could have got it, but instead goes for a deagle, make sure he keeps enough money then to be able to fund that op into the first gun round if they aren't actually able to find success here in this one. But, I mean, even just looking at the buy here for Gambit, 3 Mac-10s and 2 Galils, it's the type of buy that can get a little bit dodgy against these Deagles, especially. So we'll see how they manage to work it out. That's crazy, though. Every time we see a stack come in, it just never works out, like. No matter which side it is, apparently, now. And it started off so well, obviously, with that opening kill for Rops up in the apartments. Frozen looked like he was going to have a frag off the back of the flash in towards Banana, but when all went wrong for him, that was suddenly where Gambit just kind of got fired up. And yeah, I mean, with a 3-man B stack, we didn't think that the no kills rather from that player pushed in towards Banana was going to be too big of a deal, but turned out to be the game changer in the end, rather. Oh, dink through the wall, I believe, on the Inters. Brings them down quite low. 14 health. That's one of the Mac-10 players, at least. So the 2 rifles are still in the hands of the healthy players. And they have now got themselves the full mid-control as well, with a relatively decent amount of time left to work with. But they need to get something going soon. They don't really have much info about what the setup is for Mouse. Other than that one shot they're being fired off from quad, they haven't really seen it, or I guess even heard from anyone at this point. And it looks like they might again walk into a bit of a stack.
Here comes the hit. On comes the cavalry. And you're right, the stack is present. Dexter gets caught through the smoke as they just spam the angle. I don't think he was spotted. I think that was just a checking of his corner. Exile will get 1. Rops does take a casualty, but it's brief. There's not much more to show for it. His teammate gets traded out in the meantime elsewhere on the server, and while the health is low for a couple of these players, there's not much that can be done. And with armor, utility, it's not really worth chasing. They'll throw a nade in, a Hail Mary, if you will. It actually does catch Inter. It's just barely, though. It's close to going down from that one. They're going to take 1 more kill. And now the back off comes in. There's no point hunting these Deagles. And likewise, there's no point throwing away your armor. So, a detente at the end of this round. The remaining 6 players should survive, provided the low HP players get far enough away from the bomb, as they should do. It will be Gambit coming into the lead, avoiding Eagle Fly, taking a lead. Oh. That's awkward.
That's unfortunate. Axel's like, no.
Sliding down the wall there.
My friend.
Wasn't quite far enough away.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal. They got to keep both of the rifles, most importantly, anyway. So, yeah, and they even go for the AK upgrade onto Inters, who actually lost his Mac-10. Not sure what Nafany's pulling out. There may be a weapon already for him on the ground. They Galil, I believe, yeah, because Axel actually went ahead and upgraded. So it works out slightly better. Obviously, they have to re-spend some money in, so it's not letting them build up a lot of money here in this round. But again, there is not a full buy from mousesports, so they should be able to go up towards 10. Hopefully make this round a cleaner one as well in the meantime, and have themselves a good foundation to build off of here early on the second half of Inferno, because on Dust 2, we've seen them wake up a little bit too late, unfortunately. We're getting a much better start from them here. Oh,
this is already connected.
Did I jinx it?
There's a second as well.
I jinxed it.
Now the bomb's exposed. Oh, this is getting very risky indeed. I was going to say there's only 1 player on B. If they ultimately go here, it should be an easy round, but that's no longer the case. 2 bodies drop to the hand cannons, the head rippers, and now there's 3 players hedging their bets over towards this B side of the map. But Gambit, they might not be biting just yet. They're flowing out. They're trying to find something to work with. They're going to be careful and patient here because you cannot see this round going off the rails. This would be catastrophic. There are only 2 players here towards A now. It's Bemis, and it's Acor. Rops, actually fully committed. But he was going to come to hit. Acor down. Now it's only the player in apartments, but he can set up for the retake. They can move in with 4. They might be able to claim some guns on their path through. All the players rocking back in towards the site. Moving across the graveyard is Hobbit. He could get caught here. There's the tag. Not quite the kill just yet, and Hobbit will actually come out on top. That's huge. If he goes down there, I think this round spins out of control, but even with his low HP, he's still a threat. He's going to come to take. Any upgrades available in terms of weaponry? No, not that have been found just yet. We have another player up in the apartment halls. That's Frozen. He wants to drop down. He wants to clear out the pit, and that he can do for his team. That may be all he can do. Lane is clear. Here comes the drop. Here comes the shot. And it's not working out. Everything gets cleaned up. These three players survive despite this round getting so very risky, Dean. It's ultimately put right back on track.
Yeah, a great recovery bringing it back from that 3-on-5 and keeping all three of those players alive as well, because you didn't want to be losing any more than that. So good work. They get the bomb down, also a little bit of extra cash overall, but it's going to have to be now this first gun round that Gambit take, in my opinion, to keep this going. So far, it's been after each half. As soon as mousesports get the guns out, they start taking the momentum in their favor. So I do not want to see that happening once again. But we are going to have the up battle. Both Shiro and Acor are able to pull them out into this opening gun round here. Did we see Acor really bothering the rocket much on the T side?
Yes? No? Now I'm... You're cursing
I don't think we were seeing
memory.
A lot. It definitely wasn't
right,
being the most
not so
impactful when he was pulling out anyway. On a map like Inferno on the T side, you don't really expect it to be too explosive because you're kind of limited with what you can do, which I guess we're going to find out if Shiro is going to be able to break that rule or not. But yeah, Acor, a little bit more passive. He's holding on towards Boiler right now, and it looks like he may have someone coming his direction. Actually doesn't want to stick around. I believe had a teammate actually spotting that balcony push out, but either way, didn't want to remain as aggressive as he was. And it's really just Gambit across the map right now trying to put some pressure on and seeing what map control they can take. And, well, they're running down a few nades, at least, from the CT side. Considering the time that's remaining, I was going to say there's really not a great amount of utility on the side of mousesports. But they've kind of made up for that now as Acor snatches a kill on towards Hobbit, who, again, was so good for Gambit in that first half.
Oh, he's coming into the angle. And he wins the fight. I was going to say, that's a bit foolish, but never mind. Acor just so good. Even though he's lost a teammate, now Bemis is back in the angle, and they're actually working together. He's just willing that Opera to come out. Come on, Shiro. Give me the kill. Give it to me. There's the flash so that he can reposition, get up close, but he gets wrapped from mid. Folks, a little bit too long on the gun barrel of Shiro. Bemis trying to swing, but that just baits him into Shiro's angle. Now it's a 2-on-2. What a recovery for Gambit. Incredible showing from them. Two players going to come through the smoke. They've taken the control out towards Moto, but they got to get the kills, and those aren't available. What a play from Axile and Shiro. The Wombo combo, the dynamic duo to recover that round. It looked completely out of control, but no, they have it. And in the first half, Dean, we said someone had to step up to help out Hobbit. Well, here we've got him. Two players, Shiro and Axile, catching on up to him, putting in the work, and securing a 3-round lead for mousesports, who will now take a timeout to figure out what went wrong.
Yeah, they're the three names that I highlighted as well before this. They're the three that I believed would have to show up if they were to come true and get this victory. And, well, it's working out for them well. Working quite well for them, rather, at the moment. As, as you mentioned, mousesports have been forced into taking that pause to have a little bit of a chat and see what they can change up coming into the next gun round. Which is probably the most important part of that sentence, because they don't have the gun round right now. They are just going to be left on a few pistols again. Not meaning they can't get something done with this, because, I mean, just look at that previous round where they only had the pistols in Kevlar. It was way too dodgy for Gambit. But on paper, at least, Gambit, they should be heading up 12-8, and suddenly a map 3 is actually looking fairly realistic. If we manage to get on towards Vertigo, then at that point, I think Gambit are actually looking pretty good for the victory for themselves.
Gonna come through here, in towards B. Should be relatively straightforward. There's a wee bit of utility on Dexter to slow this down. There's the spot. HE gonna come through. That might do some damage. Soften them up for the body shots, but no, it's not substantial. Frozen actually gets a kill with the USP, because Frozen. It's a nice shot. Evens up the numbers. He can get the deagle now. Occupy the coffin position. Try and put some players into one, but he's burning. He's sticking around for the shot as well, and he doesn't have the health to spare. Smoke comes up and over. Hobbit takes out Acor elsewhere on the map just to soften up the numbers, but this B hit is where it's at. This is where the action is going down, and this bomb should be planted for Axile shortly. Both players working their way in from the church, trying to get something, but they're corralled, they're contained by utility. There's really just no room to rumble here.
Oh, but Rops, he seems to always kind of prove us wrong when we don't believe there's too much hope for something to be done. He is currently up close in the spawn, but no, quickly shut down. Shiro's able to take that kill. They get a little bit of a spam onto Frozen as well behind that smoke, and yeah, suddenly it's all onto B-Mouse. He's got Kevlar that, honestly, is probably worthwhile even trying to get saved over at this point, just to give him a little bit extra to work with in the next round. Smoke towards the pit right there, I guess, to try and fake out that he's playing a little bit more passively than he is. Perhaps pull in a weapon towards Library that he can steal away and save over as well. But I don't think it's really prompting anyone to come in this direction right now.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, they're down mid. He was hoping maybe if they retreated through CT, they'd hear that pin pull and try and chase by just sprinting through Library and making a bad mistake. It's not going to happen. So nothing for him other than the Kevlar saved. But the Kevlar is saved, and now we're going to have a substantial investment from mousesports. They're running out of opportunities here, as they have sort of been figured out on Inferno. And Gambit, well, multiple players online. 4-round lead. Lots of money to fall back on if you have 1 or 2 stumbles. This is very interesting indeed. The double op comes out from mousesports. Now that is a change-up. Talked about not seeing much of the op period from them in the first half. Well, haven't seen much of the double op for sure. Now we're going to. Frozen and Acor picking up those big green guns. Shiro's going hunting. What is this madness? He's alone. No, he's got a support now. And it's going to work out. The second player swings. There's the jump. There's the trade. Nafani playing his job perfectly. Getting 1 kill, sacrificing his life for another. And a player already in pit catches Bemis off guard. They have played mousesports like a fiddle. And Hobbit adds an extra tune, taking Dexter out of the server as well. Frozen, he'll get 1, but it's a pity prize. He's got no hope of the round. He's just going to try and save the AWP, and Gambit will climb to 13. Wow, that was a masterful take. It was so fast, balls to the walls, and it worked beautifully.
Yeah, Beamaz didn't expect him to be even committing so quickly off the back of those kills. He ends up getting caught just as he's moving in from Moto, so there was absolutely no hope even for the rotation to come back in. And, well, yeah, Frozen is trying to save, but they're about to walk right into each other. And, well, Frozen's the one who apparently gets that info first. Hobbit goes down, and at this point, is it worth Gambit throwing the players towards this? Maybe trying to send Inters in that direction. Obviously, they're not going to now, actually, because they're both just going towards the pit. They're going to chill in there and ensure that they save over. But yeah, that means obviously that an op is going to be carried into this following round for Frozen. He could drop one, but the rest of them still wouldn't have enough to buy apart from Beamaz. So it is a position here where I think we're going to have to see mousesports give up the 14th round and then hope that they can make the comeback happen. It's very similar to what Gamba had to try and do back on Dust 2. Obviously, they went down 14-8 and then did bring back a few rounds before, of course, falling short of being able to make that comeback happen. So mousesports may have a very similar task to try and pull off. They do at least get the up back to Acor, so we'll see what impact he can have with that. Deagles and Kevlar on the majority of players. Frozen actually stuck on a USP. He probably could have went for at least a P250 upgrade there, surely, alongside it. Nice kill, though. Yeah, fantastic flash. I don't know how he took so little damage. He actually gets the second with a no-scope. Okay. Unfortunately, he's not able to live any longer, and he does lose Frozen in the meantime as well. And that just put the pressure on Dexter to try and make the play happen through the smoke, which doesn't work out and, well, really just puts the nail in the coffin here, as it should be that 14th round confirmed for Gambit.
Man, what a play with a second. These Deagles are going to make an attempt. Why not? This late in. You know, 1 player's low. Ooh, Shiro. Shiro knows something we don't. He's expecting the flower pot boost. The flower pot boost is not there, but his crosshair was on a player, and now he'll go back to check and claim Rops. It's all in Bemis. Bemis isn't getting out of this one. Certainly not getting this one. We'll see if he can retrieve anything as he bails out. Might hang out and towards spawn, see if something blows his way, but that's not going to happen. Guns are going to be ferried away from the site to make absolutely sure there's no chance he takes one. And Bemis will just have to save what he's got. 14 rounds on the board for Gambit. As you said, now putting mousesports in the same position they were on Dust 2. We're going to see an investment. It is a double op as well, as the money was saved through from Frozen and Acor. Can this be the difference maker? Acor had a couple nice kills in that last round, but he's been relatively quiet here on Inferno. He has not been a strong force or a dominating presence. Dexter has been very quiet. But again, the challenge for him is setting up his teammates to succeed. expected. Shot there. Timing missed. Splits the difference between two players. Doesn't knock down either pin. Making a lot of noise, and Nafani's taking a lot of damage up here. He is so low. A Molly might finish him. I don't know if he gets away from this. He gets away. Just barely.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I was wrong, apparently. I thought he was screwed completely there, honestly. I didn't think he was going to be able to make it out before it ballooned. But he did indeed manage to cross back over. How much is it going to help them, though? They've now got two players who are pretty heavily tagged up. Mousesports at least may not be aware of the extent of the damage that they've done, but it's certainly going to help them out once a hit does start coming in towards either of these bomb sites. And well, Gambit, it does seem like they've decided against the banana area for now. They're actually just going to flash Hobbit straight out of balcony. Catches Rops up close. That's a big name to claim, of course, with the score he's been putting up so far. But they're not going to commit off that. That is instead just to try and keep these players in place for a moment as they begin to group back up over on Banana. But it hasn't sold the fake for very long at all now because they've been taken quite a while.
Oh, no.
Oh, Frozen's going aggressive, though. This is going to be tough. He needs to somehow manage to get two from this, and he does! They line up. He has another teammate up close to him, ready to swing in. And he finds the frag, drops the bomb, I believe even spotted the final player. And then puts that smoke down to ensure that Inters is not going to have an easy time making his way in towards that bomb site. And, well, even just gets the final kill with a spam through the smoke. Welcome back, mousesports. They are once again on the scoreboard, but they need to keep that up. They cannot afford to really, well, drop anything at all here unless they want to be stuck playing for an overtime.
That's, welcome back, Dexter, as well. That's his first kills in many, many rounds, and he gets 2. So there we go. All right.
Yeah, he's not having a great game, unfortunately.
No, not so much. But maybe they can perform a little bit of magic here. A la Gambit in the last. No double op available this time. That's not safe through. They do have the rifles up. They do have the single op still in the hands of Acor. Acor's going looking in towards mid. He wants this first pick. Meanwhile, utility damage down Banana. You said the HE game's kind of been lacking from mousesports. Gonna do a bit this time. Nothing substantial, though.
Yeah, I think on the CT side, they'll probably prioritize them a bit more. I guess when you're on the T side and when you're against a team like Gambit, where they have Shiro, you probably want that extra couple of flashes to take him away from those angles and such on the up. So maybe that's why we weren't seeing the nades as much, at least on the previous half. But yeah, Hobbit, he's taken an interesting position to try and actually hold off the apps push. It's I think most people know of it. Most people just don't bother using it, though, because, yeah, it can be heard when you're jumping in towards that position. And now, if they peek out on him, I don't know how he's going to get away. Fortunately, they actually only peek Rops through, so the other player in the apartment is not there to help him out. And it's the B hit that comes in the meantime. And it's being locked down by mousesports. There we go. Frozen and Dexter combining for 2 each. Shuro is the only one to get a trade back towards B as that push came in. And, well, with 40 seconds, I was going to say maybe a little bit could be done for Hobbit, but he needed to be quick, and he's actually being flanked out himself. Oh, he makes it around to the library just before BMAS, and now BMAS is making noise. This should be a free kill. No. Oh, yeah, just about. There we go. Yeah, I don't think it was the move for it anymore, though. It doesn't look like it. The weapon to be saved over, and it's understandable. If he does, he can drop an AK over the Axile, and then they're actually working with the full investment, at least. Although Nafani and Shiro, yeah, no, they get 1900, right, actually, so they will be able to get the bio.
They'll be all right. And him getting that 1 kill was so important as well, right? Because he's going to really limit this mousesports economy. It's playing out so similarly to Dust 2, but in reverse. You continue to hamstring it so that even if they're taking these rounds, it's at a huge cost. And then as soon as you knock on map point, as soon as you get that 15th, they've got nothing to put under them in terms of legs. They're just completely swept. The wind's knocked out of them, and you're able to finish it. So for mousesports, they can't drop the round, and they would really like to win one of these comfortably. It would go a long way to making life easier. Dexter is continuing to contribute another 2 kills in that round to help lock down the B site, and that has been a difference maker for mousesports as they seem to have found their rhythm with defending B. It's taken a long time, but it's finally happened. Utility exchange, not much found for it, and Rops goes for a bold peek, and he finds a bold kill. So a man advantage now available, and with limited util, limited weaponry. Well, not limited weaponry, but limited setups. This could be dangerous. Hobbit's going to try and make his own magic. Creeping up along to hunt Acor, but he comes peeking in, and Acor collects the kill. So now things are looking a little dire for Gambit. 3 players remaining. What can they hope to find? Acor, is he going to go looking? Be a bit much. Axile's going to swing. There's the kill found. They're coming through. He wants another. That's too far. But the damage has been done. Only 2 players remaining to battle against 4, Dean.
Yeah, maybe a little bit greedy for Acor, but he was finding a lot of success. So I guess he was kind of just riding on the high right there, hoping he could do a little bit more. But it is still a 4-on-2, so I don't think it's going to cost them too much time-wise. There is 50 seconds, so they're, I was going to say, not really quite working against the clock at the moment. They could maybe take their time, but no, smoke down. They wanted to try and just force the fight against the players in towards the pit, hoping to be able to cut off the crossfire, of course, with that smoke down on default, but both players were actually positioned towards the pit, so it works out perfectly. They didn't need both either way, though, because Rops was there, and again, he has been on fire throughout this entire game, and well, throughout the entire morning so far, since the initial best of one against Renegades, at least looking back at the scoreboard, obviously we didn't cover that one ourselves, but he was up towards the top putting in those numbers. And well, we're going to see a 12th now for mousesports being found in a moment as we suddenly again have a game on our hands.
We're probably going to see a 12th. Never say never. I've seen many a berry go by.
That's true. Right. There's no digs even. It's P250s, one Tech 9, and a Glock. No flashes even to let them try and catch someone out of position.
That's when they get you.
Yeah, I'm weighing up the odds though. The mousesports surely can't lose this one. Please, mousesports, don't.
Don't say that sentence. Oh, now they're gonna lose it. All right, Caster's Curse notwithstanding.
You acknowledge it. It's fine.
Let's see what this hit comes through. The AWP is zeroed in. There's a player out by logs, though, and Frozen, he realized flies to it, but there comes the peek. He gets a kill, sticks around a little bit too long, and he's the only player there, so now guess who has an AWP? Axile does. And even toss it over to Shiro if they want to play their roles, but he's not going to give that one up. Maybe should, since he has the tech, but... And Dexter is low. He's dinked. They're chasing him. They catch the kill. That's another gun found. It's falling apart here, Dean. The AWP goes looking. The AWP's going to get another. Oh, no. Guns found. Another AWP can be had. And the bomb is down in a 2v3. You've done it, Dean. You've jinxed them. You have jinxed them straight to hell and back. And here comes the kill to finish it. It's up to Rops now. 1v3. Yes, his opponents don't have armor, but they've got guns, they've got ops, and he's running out of time. And he doesn't have a kit. He doesn't have a kit. He's just going to try and get the kills and prevent them from getting out of sight. He's given up on the round. It's going to be map point for Gambit. He just wants to take some guns, and that's not going to happen. He cannot win this. And he will have to back away and keep what he has. There was even a kit on his way up.
Oh, God.
Still don't know that he would have gone for it.
He still,
but that's map point.
Really.
Pistols!
I'm not taking the blame for that,
no
though.
Flashes.
I'm not taking the blame for that. That one's on mousesports.
No deagles! Pistols!
I mean, as soon as you get an op in a 1-for-1 trade with those pistols, things just become so dangerous. I did not expect them to be playing such aggressive positions with the ops that it could be taken away like that, especially when they know they're up against a weaker buy. Or at least they should have known. I would imagine they did in the beginning of that round. And, well, yeah, now it's going to have to be the play for overtime here for mousesports. They did 4 rounds in a row if they want to be looking at a chance to actually finish this in a 2-0. If not, it's going to be Vertigo up next. But here we go. Acor. He's won out that up battle against Shiro. That's a great start. Oh, and they may even catch another player. Dexter's shoulder. That's actually the one showing around on Banana, but he did have assistance and actually just gets to kill himself. I initially thought that Axile was going to be baited in there by Dexter kind of showing his shoulder and not expecting the second player, but yeah, Dexter himself is getting some frags. He needs them. He wants to build up that confidence a little bit, and they chose the perfect time to back away there just as the boost came in.
So we're going to have very nicely. They're actually going to rotate Acor over because he's the player with utility and they want a Molotov on site as well as the AWP potential. So I'm just going to come in for the crossload. That might neutralize Acor's ability to have impact. He wants a shot. He's going to pop one off. There's the molly. Give Dexter a little bit of space, but they smoke it off. They're slowed up, though. Just long enough. The teammates are getting in here. What can Dexter do? Now he's got the op for support. They're in towards the grill. They're popping up over to clear out coffins. There's the spot. There's a kill, though. Dexter nearly gets a second. He may have done enough, but Hobbit swings it back the other way. A 2-on-2 now. Bomb being planted with time to spare. But never mind. Nafani goes down before he can get this bomb down to dirt. Now Hobbit's in an awkward position. He spotted the player, but Rops will get the kill regardless. mousesports, they're not done yet. They're not out of this yet. It looked disastrous. There are still signs of life for this team.
Yeah, hopefully no more issues in terms of dropping against the pistol. But at least in this round, they're not against pistols. Not okay. It's not a perfect buy for Gambit. There is definitely the Mac 10 and the Galil there, but they're on a pretty decent investment overall. And I mean, when you match it up against the buy with the MP9 for Mouse as well, it's really not that much worse. But obviously, if they lose this one, then they're on an eco. Suddenly, it's only one round in the difference. One more gun round, that is, even for mousesports to actually take it to the OT. So, yeah, this 3-round lead for Gambit could dissipate real quick. It could quickly disintegrate, rather. But we'll see. Mousesports, they don't really want to let go of this aggression either. That, well, has been overall working pretty well for them. We didn't get to see them we seen them start on the T side, of course, so we had been curious about how that style they were working with on D2, the very aggressive CT side, if they were going to bring it over to Inferno, as it's a much more common map for that aggression. And, well, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, what was expected. And that was actually a pretty good trade of damage for Dexter, considering he had the MP9.
He got a parting nade, or someone, I think actually his teammate threw the parting nade as well to follow it up. So they have done a lot of damage. Acor is going to give up Banana, but that's interesting to me because he didn't see anything. He just wanted to play off of it. And that's actually going to draw the 4th player over. Ooh, maybe not. Frozen holding back in towards Arch. This could actually work out if they wind up going for a wrap, or even if it just comes in for the quick flank. Comes in for the peek. There's going to be the check. There's going to be a kill from Dexter. Another HE kill, or rather an HE finisher coming in. And look at the health of these remaining players, but Nafani's gotten the kill. 2 to his name. It doesn't matter the health if you continue to click heads. Rop's going to have to do some work, and there's a player coming from on top. He can't quite finish him off. That's Hobbit, and that's the map 1. Gambit closed things out 16-12. We're getting a 3rd. We are going to the full 3-map series. We're getting vertigo here.